Hello and welcome to another edition of After the Whistle, Wednesday, October 19th, and it's a three-man show today. Stevie Patrick is back with us. Y'all know we've been trying to get him back here for a while because we got some stuff to talk to him about.
He was ducking.
Yeah.
He was ducking.
Yeah.
They got some surprises for me, y'all.
Yeah, because the last time he was here, he was wrong about a lot of things.
A lot.
So which one you want to start off with first?
I mean, since Jay retired, we can start on that.
Who?
Yeah.
Since my man Jay Wright retired, we can start on that.
Okay.
He said, who you said? You said
Calipari is the best Italian coach.
I think it was like a week after he said that, he got bounced from the tournament.
Yeah. But everybody in the country was surprised about that, though. Not just me.
It's always a surprise because I feel like Kentucky still has like some of the, I want to say, mystique as these other, like even the Celtics. People think the Celtics will be good every year. Like, come on, bro. Like, let's be real. Like, it's kind of the historic mystique that Kentucky has, and they get great recruits every year. They just don't have a winning formula.
Yeah.
Okay, but I was talking about Cal, not just the whole, the program. Cal usually successful in the tournament. His numbers are great. So that's why I thought.
So isn't Jay?
Who got more championships?
One team. Jay does.
Jay.
How many more?
He got like 3 more.
One.
Oh, my.
Yeah,
okay.
one more.
He got one more?
Yeah,
or two more?
One more.
I said
He's got
more.
he got 2.
3. No, he gonna get 3?
No, he got 2.
You sure he got 3?
I'm sure he got 2. Because
He got 2 at Villanova.
yeah, he got those 2 when the year after they won their first
lost.
one off that buzzer beater. They didn't make it, and then they won it again.
for UNC.
Mm-hmm.
I think he may have been a couple more Final Fours. I think he's been into a couple more Final Fours.
And his recruiting class is nowhere near what Calipari brings in every year.
True.
Yeah, he gets guys he has to develop.
He gets top 3 recruiting classes like every year. Kentucky, Memphis.
All right, so okay.
UMass.
Yeah.
With Candy.
All right, you right about that.
Too. Shout out Ted too, play with Candy too, man.
Yeah, wow, y'all surprising me today. So
What
I wasn't ready
Ted.
for that one.
Oh no, the other one he was wrong about. Was the Raiders?
Either the Raiders or the Cowboys.
One of them. You said something about the Raiders not going to win something. And
You got to show me the tape. You got to show me the tape.
Forget that.
You got to show me the tape.
Forget that one, but the Calipari one, that's the main one. We were trying to get you back on here because it was hilarious. A week after you said that.
That's true. I remember. And honestly, I'm not even going to lie. I remember I was like, damn. I was like, they're going to kill me when next time they see me. They're going to kill me on this one.
And I'm not even like a big Jay Wright guy. I respect Jay Wright. But it's just like the teams he put out, like he was kind of almost like God University at some point.
How far did they make it? They made it to the Elite 8. That's
Which one?
Right?
With Fisher or when he had like
this past year?
Yeah.
I believe so, yeah.
The 8, right?
Yeah,
okay, so,
I believe so.
He went out. He didn't
now
go
we got
too
that
strong.
out the way. He was expecting that.
I wasn't. I would not. Y'all didn't tell me that one. Okay, good.
The Patriots, back-to-back wins. Another solid performance. This time on the road against the Browns. Did a good job of slowing down the league's top running back, Nick Chubb. They slowed down that running game, and Zach just, he was out there just making plays and not turning the ball over like that.
I like what he's doing. Once again, I said last week, it seems like they game plan better for the backups than they do the actual starters. But they open it up to him a little more. He's throwing the ball. I mean, threw the ball 34 times, 309, 2 TDs, almost 10 yards a pass.
I just give credit to the New England coaching staff because I feel like they always have, like you said, it seems like the backups are more ready than the starters, so they always have these guys ready. And the defense, the Patriots defense is elite. I would say it's top 5, for the last 5 seasons.
Yeah, and that's been
numbers-wise.
Yeah, that's been the bright spot for them to start off early on the season. Even those games that they lost, their defense had played really well in those games. It was just their offense didn't make any plays. Mm-hmm. And then you just love to see that they got some of their big money players the ball. I mean, Jonnu Smith and Hunter Henry both were getting balls thrown at them, and they were both making plays. And then you had Devontae Parker. So it was just a good all-around game. And then I like that they're keying on the running. They're still making an effort to run the ball, no matter how it is.
Belichick's going to do that.
And you have to.
Old school football.
And you have to. Like you said, old school football. They're trying to make this new generation pass first, pass only. And it's like, no, you forget you have guys called running backs that help you get ground yardage and to help you keep the defense on their toes. And it allows young quarterbacks and inexperienced quarterbacks to feel more comfortable.
Yeah, definitely.
Less chances you got to take.
They're trying to reinvent the wheel. Seriously.
Yeah.
And you know.
And too, like the skip marks didn't help themselves by having 4 turnovers, bro.
Yeah, you're not winning
gonna win
skid marks.
anything.
Yeah,
Skid marks.
they call them skid marks.
Skid marks,
You're
bro.
not going to win many games turning the ball over 4 times. And when the team has the ball 11 more minutes than you, you're not. You're just not going to win any game. You fall, you get behind in a big hole. It's just not going to work.
And you only complete 4 third downs the
That's
whole
what I was gonna
game.
say,
That's
yeah.
a 3rd down per quarter.
Yeah,
That
their quarterback situation is tough over there. No wonder why they spent all that money on Watson.
And
they can't wait to get him back. I'm
And
telling you.
Brissett is a good quarterback, good backup quarterback, good backup quarterback.
There you go.
He's good enough. He might be able to get them like 2 more wins. That's
Who they playing?
Well, regardless, he got no business throwing the ball 45 times.
No, he doesn't.
So I get it. They kept Chubb in check, but he only got the ball 12 times. You got to kind of force feed him at least 20, 25.
Their schedule's kind of brutal before Deshaun Watson gets back.
Exactly.
So they got the Ravens, then they got the Bengals, then they got the Dolphins, then they got the Bills, then they got the Bucks.
That's not a good recipe, Mook, for 2 wins.
I just know.
It's not.
I just know the Pats gonna beat these teams. Like,
Oh, yeah.
When we start losing to these teams, then we start questioning our franchise and what direction it's going in.
Yeah.
Well,
And we're going up a little bit. We're going up.
the Pats are the worst team in our division right now.
in the division,
For the
everybody
first
got a winning
time,
record.
for the first time in a long time.
Yeah, but that's as far as we can go.
Right.
You can't be the worst in the league.
I know.
Or the worst.
Listen,
You know what
believe me, I know.
In the-
But we're trending up, though.
Yeah. And
Now,
the division, everybody got a winning
Can we
record.
talk? Can we still talk about them for 30 seconds?
What's up?
What do you think if Mac returns?
He better play some good football or.
Because he doesn't have the contract, right? He had the big money yet.
Nah, you got the rookies.
And like I said, the experience. He hasn't done enough yet to solidify a spot. Yeah. So I'm like Belichick, man. Whoever's the best is competing.
Yeah, but I get why when he comes back they'll still have him in because one, he's your first round pick. You got some invested in him. But if he comes back and he's still a little shaky like he was early in the season, throwing these dumb interceptions.
Zappy looks good.
And the reason why I said the money because he didn't get the big contract that you have to make him your starter. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Now it's like you can.
He's still under the rookie deal.
Yeah, so it's like, yo, bro, you either got to show and prove, or we got Zappy to zap your ass out of here.
I'm thinking the Brady Bledsoe situation.
It might be, but you never know.
You know Belichick.
You never know because he did show some moments where it was like, oh, I see why he was back up. But just gotta give these guys time to grow. And
2 Ws.
Jones. Yeah, Jones when he comes back, we'll see what he does when he comes back. Because when he comes back, he has to really step up.
And they also have to game plan like this.
Yeah.
They got to run the ball a little more.
Yeah.
Stop relying on that arm.
How's Harris?
He's out for a couple weeks.
Okay.
Yeah, I think hamstring, so he'll be out. But they got a good running game with Stevenson. All right, the Eagles they are still undefeated. Hey man, I keep saying I'm not too sure about the Eagles right now, but watching this game, I like their game plan, how their offense moves. Their offense is we're not going to have them. Yeah, we're not throwing the ball a whole deep a lot. We're just going to get our receivers on the move, short passes, and have them make plays. And
Reminds me of a balanced offense from Madden, the playbook. Everything balanced. Okay, you got the run, you got 35 runs, you got 35 passes, and they're sticking with it.
It kind of reminds me of like the old Cowboys. The reason why I say that because Emmitt Smith's a legendary running back, and Aikman was a good quarterback. But it was always balanced. For one, with Aikman, he couldn't take too many hits, concussion man. Yeah. So that's why you had to keep it balanced. And I just brought that to head because everybody's been questioning Hurt's skill set. But if you don't have to rely so much on his arm, and they're still getting W's, I'm gonna take this game plan.
Yeah, that is the game plan. That's the formula for success. That's the formula for this team. We're gonna do a lot of the misdirections. We're gonna send guys certain ways, and then we're gonna run up the middle.
The key to it, I think, is he's being efficient with his legs. He ran for I think 2 or 3 key first downs that he got in the late in the game were on his legs. You know what I'm saying? They weren't throws. So I think he's being efficient like that, and also it's keeping the turnovers down.
Also too, on the Cowboys end, they forgot Russ was a backup. I get it, he's been playing well, but when you started having him do more than he's used to doing, and then he had a backup game, throwing 3 intos,
Yeah, passes getting batted down and stuff like that.
And the penalties too, like they weren't even mentally into the game. Like for you to have 10 penalties for 72 yards versus the Eagles, who you know this game was very important, and you know you have a backup, you have to be smarter with that because he needs a possession to be great.
Shout outs to the Eagles, but their 6-0 doesn't feel like 6-0.
No,
because
right?
once again, because they just this team every time it's like. It's one quarter, they just score a whole bunch of points. This time it was the second quarter. They scored 20 straight points in the second quarter.
Right. They do it defensively, they do it offensively.
Yeah.
Like it's this.
They don't really blow anybody out.
Right.
And they don't. They're not like they don't really dominate anybody. So it's one of those like every game's a good game and they come back a close game and it's like they pull it out somehow.
Right.
Yeah.
But like I said, if anybody's Super Bowl ready right now,
It's them.
They won. They won every type of way so far.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're like the time once they jump on you, they'll jump on you early. They get that big lead and they just hold on to
you're
it
not gonna
throughout.
come back.
Yeah,
Exactly.
so and the only way you come back is for them to make certain mistakes. And from what we've seen, they don't really turn the ball over like that. They're really careful with. They're really ball security is really a key for them.
This year.
So hey.
I think they kind of flipped with the Cowboys from last season. Because if you remember, the Cowboys came out screaming last season, came out firing on these guys, and just like the Eagles. But
And the Eagles are well disciplined too.
I don't.
Only 2 penalties, only 10 yards. They're helping their quarterback be successful. When you're not adding on nonsense to him to battle against,
That's all season?
No. This
Oh,
game.
I was gonna say.
Not this game, but it's like
great.
it's allowing him just to play compared to like getting pushed back 50, 60 yards, and then he has to battle back against the penalties.
And the thing with the Cowboys, that's been an issue with them since last year, the penalties.
Yeah.
Even in preseason, you saw it. I think there was a preseason game, they had like 17 penalties, I think, in the preseason game. So these penalties are issues with the
That's
Cowboys.
coaching. That's
Yeah.
You have those
at some
issues
point
with McCarthy.
You gotta hold your players to a higher standard. Those penalties don't happen as much. Granted, penalties are part of the game.
He's a player's coach. That guy.
Well,
McCarthy.
Jerry's a player's owner, so they better get somebody
Get it together too. That's right, 'cause they were talking about getting rid of him this year. It's crazy.
I better figure it out.
Facts. Oh man, Buffalo and Kansas City have won another wild game together. It's like every time these two teams play together, it just turns into an instant classic. Yeah, that was a really good game.
Classic.
Kansas City, once again, they're gonna look at this. They're gonna be like, yeah, we just shot ourselves in the foot. You get a turnover in the end zone because Mahomes had that Brett Favre syndrome when he was trying to force a pass or make a pass that he didn't really need to get points. You could have got 3 points right there. Then you miss a field goal attempt. That's 3 points right there. So that's 6 points right there, and you lose the game 24-20.
And Buck's usually reliable too. The kicker, she's usually reliable.
Yeah.
So,
Man, I ain't gonna lie. When I seen when Allen threw that little shuttle pass and they fumbled it, I thought it was gonna be a rough game for the Bills. But I like how the Bills battled back. The Bills are definitely showing that they made a turn in the right direction, just as a franchise. Because like the old Bills, I don't know how they would have bounced back from that just early mishap. Because things like that usually would stick with them the whole game, especially against the Chiefs. I don't know what Mahomes doing with them 2 end toes. He got to tighten up. And remember what I said before?
Brett Favre syndrome.
Remember I said before too, he gets away with all that wild stuff against the bottom half of the league. You play the top half of the league, you better tighten up. And for them to only run the ball 18 times is blasphemous. It's blasphemous.
you talk about Super Bowl ready. I think Buffalo is Super Bowl ready because they also been tested. They lost. The Eagles haven't lost yet. So when they do, and they're not going to go undefeated. And when they do lose, I'm interested to see how they react. If they're going to go in a slump, a losing slump, or they're going to bounce back.
Also, look at the balance that the Bills had as well. Granted, we were talking about Allen having more rushes than his running backs, but this game, Singletary had 5 more rushes than him. Finally utilizing your running back, and they ran the ball 31 times. Allen throwing the ball 40 times. Granted, I prefer him to throw like 30, 35, but that's balance.
And at some point, they had to beat these guys because if you keep losing to the same team over and over and over again, in the back of your mind, you're just like, we really can't beat these
Every
guys.
game was within a possession too.
And they would always lose at the end.
Yeah, and
they would always
every
lose
game
at the
was in
end.
possession.
In case he sees how missing Tyreek Hill. Because if you don't get to the red zone twice, the whole game, that's like they usually have a home run hitter. Granted, Juju's balling, he's getting better, he's getting acclimated to the team, but you can just see how much they're missing Hill.
The more reason they're missing him is because those other guys used to just get they get the sim coverage or they find open spots. Now it's like they don't have home run plays like that no more.
Right,
Now
so
they
now
have
they
to
can double Kelsey now.
Yeah,
Now you can double Kelsey.
And they have
He's
to
still
like
performing.
methodically go down the field. They can't just hit one big strike and the guy takes off. Now they have to run 12, 15 plays to get in the end zone. It used to be like they might run 5, 6 plays.
Right. Next thing you know, they're down the field. Right. Exactly.
So, and their offense is changing. They have to adapt to that. And yeah, Mahomes, and also with Mahomes, he got that Brett Favre in him. He's gonna throw you a couple. He's gonna throw you a couple. It's just you have to catch it, and that's the only thing. But kudos to the Bills, 5-1 right now, and Josh Allen making a case for MVP.
Yep, definitely. Both those quarterbacks, Hurts and Allen, to me are the two.
I think more Allen just because
his numbers,
he's
but
doing more.
Yeah, his
Hurts
numbers.
is able to rely on his team, though. You know what I mean?
Who has more weapons?
Well, I mean,
that's tough.
That's a tough one. That's a tough one. Because look at it.
That's a tough one, though. They don't talk about Diggs, really.
Diggs.
They don't talk about him, but we know.
No, but only Diggs. They talk about Buffalo.
No, what about
Davis? Yeah, Davis. Yeah, those are two.
I had more Diggs than anybody.
No.
I had more Diggs than anybody.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, just look at the targets.
Who you hearing in Philly?
A.J. Brown.
Ooh, Hollywood.
He's been quiet the last couple of.
Hurts is doing well because he got a legit number one receiver. I always say this: you give a team, you give a quarterback that's people are about a legit number one wide receiver who could just throw the ball anywhere too.
Change there.
Yeah.
You're right.
This is the same thing that happened to Josh Allen. He didn't have Stephon Diggs. He got Stephon Diggs. Now he could make them crazy passes in his direction, and he's going to come up with it.
And the NFL wants the Bills to be good. They try to push some teams. I don't really think they care for the Eagles to really be that good. They want the Bills to be good.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. Man, they do. Yeah, it was like Sunday was like upset Sunday. First up, the New York teams. First up with the Giants upsetting the Ravens, but the Ravens pretty much gave them. They gave them the game. Somebody
gave that away.
Somebody said the Giants got to be the worst 5-1 team that they've seen, and it's kind of like, they're not wrong. They're not wrong. Because they're like, some of these games they won, you're just like,
And remember, we talked about a couple weeks ago, I like how the NFL is personally. Because some of the teams that's supposed to be good, and they're having down years, and some of these bum teams that have been at the bottom for some years now, they making a case for themselves to be in the playoffs. So I think it's good for football. Granted, it's awful for the bookies. It's awful for the guys betting. Granted, Hood, he wanted his slip, you know what I mean? But other people, I feel bad because you usually able to predict these wins and losses, and now it's like when you got other teams beating Tom Brady. Oh my!
We'll get to that.
I want to jump over it, but it's like certain things. For one, the Steelers. I mean, my bad. For one, who we talking about just now?
The Giants and the Ravens.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop talking because I'm stuck on these bum and
I'll tell you this. As far as the Ravens go, I believe they gave that game away. I think in the end, Lamar. If he wants the money that he's looking for, I think he has to secure those W's.
Yeah, these are the type of games you can't lose. Yeah. You can't turn the ball over like that, forcing the pass like that, especially with the lead. And also, I don't know if this is the play caller or who, but their offense in the second half, it always just goes do-do-do-do, it just trajects downward. In the first half, it's boom, hitting on. But then in the second half, I don't know what's going on with the play calling or what's going on with the execution, but it just all goes bad in the second half.
I just think they're, when they're usually starting off with a lead. You know what I'm saying? And it looks good. And then once they can't hold on to it. Once a team adjusts to them, I think they get into a secure mode, secure win mode on offense, not the explosion like they do in the second quarter. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I just don't think they got enough weapons to help Lamar personally because I feel like they rely too much on Lamar. Like he's like the Swiss Army knife for their team.
They don't have that number one receiver.
He can't be a Swiss Army knife. We seen last year his body falling apart.
Yeah. So if the Ravens would just do a good job of just trying to find him a legitimate number one wide receiver where he could just throw the ball up to, and
I don't think he's ever had one. Nope. The best one he has is what, Watkins? Sammy?
Hollywood Brown, maybe. But
he's not even a number one. That's why I said Watkins.
There's been guys out in free agency, but they just never pursued them. So it's kind of.
And I think that plays a role in why he was, probably holding out at the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
He still didn't sign the contract, am I correct?
Nope, he has not.
Exactly.
So,
I don't think he will.
Hey, man, he's going to do it after the season.
Nah, they're going to tag him.
Oh, yeah, my apologies, too. I said Hollywood earlier. That was the wrong Brown.
Yeah,
There's so many Browns
it's all
out
good.
there, bro.
It's all good. It's all good. Now, the other New York team, the Jets, quietly, they've got the best defense out in the league right now.
I agree with you.
I think I saw a stat that said they've only allowed 7 touchdowns and they've forced like 8 interceptions or something.
Yeah, so
something like that. It's a stat like that.
More intros and TDs given. That's an incredible stat right now.
I mean, that quarterback one hell of a hunter. And his return has propelled him.
Yeah. Or what, you got him in fantasy or something?
Nah, I just mean, nah.
I do.
No. Oh, you don't know the backstory about Zach Wilson.
He's part of a book club.
You can Google it. You can Google it right now and you can find out. We'll see
He was playing bookmarking some pages.
The crazy thing is they're winning. They're winning despite their quarterback, the Jets. They're winning because of their defense and their running game. That's who they've been winning.
Zach Wilson.
That's how they've been winning. And Sauce Gardner, this dude with the best name in football, he's really legitimizing himself as one of the best young DB out there, and I think he's only a rookie.
Yeah, he is. I gotta watch more of the Jets. I didn't watch much of this game.
Me either.
Like,
it's the Jets. What the hell we got watching the Jets for? But they did a good job of slowing down the Packers' offense. They got Aaron Rodgers over there talking about the Packers need to simplify their offense. But
Rodgers is missing Adams. Like I don't know what's going on with Green Bay, but.
Oh, man.
They got to figure it out. They got to bring some more guys in, or they got to change some things up. But they're just not looking well.
Bunch of guys in roles that they're not used to.
They went from like playoff Super Bowl contenders to pretenders.
I mean, they're missing their number 1 receiver, who you didn't think would affect them that much.
Yeah, but they picked up some guys.
He's not.
Yeah, but they're not him.
They're not Adams. Nobody's Adams.
And Adams ain't that happy either.
Right. I know. Turning over the cameras and stuff like that.
I'll be honest, that was the cameraman's fault.
Yeah, that was the cameraman's fault.
Any logical person knows, for one, if you ever lost or something, you don't want to see anybody in your way right after you lose. Yeah. And 2, you knew like you was in his way, bro. Right. I don't care about none of that. Like,
and then you can wait. You can wait because you know they're coming off the field. Usually they wait.
God forbid you have man is the guy. It's just little things you don't walk in somebody's way if they're going to their tunnel after a loss. Like, come on, bro.
Yeah,
like,
of course.
That's all he did was push you? That's all he did?
Right.
Yeah, we all would have reacted.
And he didn't even push him that hard.
No, he just get out my way.
Just like move. Yeah.
Remember the type of person he pushed. Probably didn't know what the weight even looks like. I'm sorry though, like everybody just trying to get rich quick, and it's like, come on, man, like you serious? Like,
but yeah,
they probably put charges on him.
I mean, if you was gonna push him though, you should have just mushed him in the face and really pushed him.
Yeah, they really try to put like misdemeanor charges on him.
That's the world we live in, bro.
That's not gonna fly.
It isn't. It's just like, bro, get out my way.
He wants a check.
Yeah.
Common sense. The judge should be like, common sense should have been used right then and there.
Right. The video
dismissed.
Get out of my way. Lastly, with NFL, okay, I've been saying Tom Brady should have stayed retired. You came back for this nonsense because he's not looking good out there. He's looking like pretty much he's got other stuff on his mind. That's what it's been looking. That's what it's been looking like since he started.
He's going through a divorce.
And then you're yelling at your lineman, but then like Friday you was at a wedding. You didn't travel with the team to Pittsburgh. You're at a wedding for Mr. Kraft. And Wednesdays, I would have been like, if I was one of the linemen, I would just be like, bro, you wasn't even on the ride here. You can't talk to me like this.
He was at a wedding with Mr. Kraft?
Yeah, Mr. Kraft got married.
I'm sorry.
The wedding was Friday.
I'm sorry. I'm missing that one. If I leave the Pats to go play for another organization, I got to catch you during the summertime, bro.
Right.
I'm not showing up. Like, there's certain things you just don't do. If I'm the lineman, I'm not blocking for you.
I knew Brady was done when he took that hiatus in the preseason.
Oh yeah, when he was
that's not like
he was
him.
missing. When he went,
that's not like him. So when he did that, I knew what type of season this was going to be for Tom Brady.
Yeah,
and Gronk. He don't have Gronk. He don't have a security blanket.
He don't have Gronk. He should have known. He should have retired when half his starting linemen got injured during training camp. That's when he should have been like, this might not work out.
And he lost his wife.
And it was like, you retired. You had a good season last year. You put up MVP numbers. Your last pass would have been a touchdown pass. So that would have been your last NFL pass. Like, he had everything to.
He should have rolled
Now,
out.
just let's understand, what issues do most greats have? When to let go.
Yeah.
True.
So either you let go, or the game's
Even
gonna let
in
go of
boxing,
you.
But just
basketball,
imagine
everything, football.
type of great he is, where he never came in, so he never came in highly heralded.
Yeah.
So he probably always felt there's always gonna be a chip on his shoulder, regardless if he plays 30 years, 40 years. Just he's so programmed now that it's just like.
But he's done.
Yeah,
I mean,
He's done now.
He needs to be done on his own accord.
he got.
Somebody
The Bucks are gonna make sure you done when they don't.
One of the opponents.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
End up like Brett Favre laying face down in Minnesota. That's still my last image of Brett Favre. He keep
yelling at them linemen like
face
that.
down
They
in the
gonna
cold.
let them dudes go just like.
And he forgot how remember he used to buy Rolex for his lineman with the Pats, and he bought them Rolexes again, right? Or he bought him something. You know you need him to protect you. You probably need to watch your tone.
Yeah, you better go feed him this week. Take him to dinner.
All it needs is one Olay.
That's what I'm telling you. That's what I said. He's done. He's gone. That's how messing with them linemen, boy.
And we've seen where situations where like they'll let you take a couple sacks to remind you of who you need
to give you a little love tap. And then pretend like they're helping you up.
Yeah. Don't do that again.
We're going to go to Craig with the No Huddle. Fantasy stardom and sit 'em.
What up, everybody, and welcome to No Huddle here on After the Whistle. It's your boy Craig with my starts of the week. Let's jump right into it because I got football practice. So let's start with my quarterbacks. Carson Wentz out with a hand injury, broken finger, going to be out 4 to 6 weeks. Taylor Heineke back in the mix. The boy is good. I've always liked Heineke since he's been playing for Washington, and I feel like he's going to have a solid game. Boy plays with nothing to lose, going up against Green Bay's defense that has been not great. He has a solid squad of wide receivers, so I think Heineke is going to have an excellent game, so plug him in. Tom Brady going up against Carolina. I think this is going to be a good game for him. Might turn into a little bit of a shootout, so look for that to be a good play. And then it's time to start putting in Zappy. Going up against Chicago, I think Belichick, being a defensive mind, is gonna know how to scheme against their defense. Zappy has good feet, he's accurate, and he takes care of the ball. So look for Zappy to have an excellent game against Chicago. And then Derek Carr going up against Houston. Houston's defense is not near top tier, and Derek Carr coming off a bye week, well rested. Devontae Adams going to be playing angry, so I think they're going to have an excellent game. For running backs, you got Kamara going against Seattle, one of the worst run defenses in the NFL. So if he hasn't become an every week back for you, which he should by this point, plug him in 100%. Ezekiel Elliott, same thing, going up against Detroit, lackluster defense. Look for him to score a tutty in this game. I might even play Tony Pollard if I had him. Deion Jackson, third string backup. Hines, is he ready to go? I don't know. Jonathan Taylor, is he ready to go? I don't know. If neither one of these guys is ready to go, 100% Deion Jackson is playing like a beast right now. I wouldn't even be surprised if Jonathan Taylor comes back that they share the workload. Josh Jacobs going up against Houston. Josh Jacobs has been a shining light on anybody's fantasy team, and he is an every week player. Stevenson from the Patriots, once again going up against Chicago, and he has the lone job in New England. Once New England starts tallying up them points, look for Stevenson to get even more touches. For wide receivers, Curtis Samuel, like I just said, Taylor Heineke is a gunslinger. Curtis Samuel is definitely going to receive some of them targets. Chris Godwin going up against Carolina. Godwin is one of my favorite wide receivers, and he is really starting to turn it up. So look for him to have a good week. Probably one of his best weeks yet. I got him getting a tutty in this game. Garrett Wilson, he started off really well. He's dropped off. Going up against the Giants, tough matchup. I think they're going to have to air it out, and I believe Garrett Wilson will receive the brunt of the work. Breece Hall, obviously, has become an every week down. The Jets look like a great team, so definitely play him. Hunter Renfrow has been super disappointing this season, but with a matchup against Houston, I can't see him failing for you. So I would 100% plug in Hunter Renfrow this week if you have him. Finally, on the New England Patriots, Devontae Parker, touchdown last week. Thornton, touchdown last week. Hunter Henry, touchdown last week. I expect repeats from the three of them. I guarantee Hunter Henry a touchdown this week. But when it comes to Devontae Parker and Thornton, and Jacoby Myers, I believe the three of them could go off. But if I had to choose one, I love the rookie. He's a speedster. He's gonna get down to the field. He's gonna beat his man. So if I had to pick one of the three to put in 100%, I'm going with Thornton. But I think it's safe that you can put all three of these guys in and look to see double digits. In the tight end position, I've already told you Hunter Henry. Put him in this week. Chicago, they're weak. Hunter Henry is a big body tight end, and we all know Belichick likes his tight ends. Kyle Pitts going up against Cincinnati. I like it, but I would say play Cincinnati defense. Sneaky, tough defense in the NFL. They don't let you score in the second half. New England defense going up against Chicago. They're terrible. Play them. And then the Jets going up against Denver. I never thought I would say this, but they're looking pretty good. So that's all I have for you. See you next week. Back to After the Whistle.
And we are back. Thank you, Craig, for that. Lastly, before we get to NBA news, so Robbie Anderson of the of the Panthers, he threw a fit during the game. I don't know what happened, but he was having a moment during the game.
He knew he was getting traded.
Yeah, he threw a fit.
Oh, I see him.
He threw a fit. Then he was standing all the way away from the team, and the coaches sent him to the locker room during the game and said, "You're done for the game." In the middle of the game, and sent him to the locker room and said, "You're done for the day." Then the next day, he's traded to the Arizona Cardinals.
He knew he was getting traded.
Did y'all see the interaction?
Nah.
When the coach was like, "Punch me."
Oh yeah.
And I heard him say, "I lay your down." I was like, "Ooh."
Oh yeah, the wide receiver.
Oh yeah, they were going at it.
I wouldn't want to mess with that coach. Any coach that says punch me, he must have taken a few punches in his life.
He's waiting for that excuse to jump on him.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's all he wants. He just needs that one excuse. That's why he said, "Yeah, hit me. I'll take one."
Yeah. So now
I was smart of Robbie not to though.
Oh yeah.
Because he would have been done.
But then it makes me wonder,
check everything, his money, his pockets.
As a coach, you got to hold yourself to a high standard. Regardless, you guys two adults. You're saying that to a guy in the middle of a game.
Oh, yeah.
So then somebody call him in the office as well. You can't just ship him out and then all of a sudden you got this coach antagonizing
He
the player.
be reprimanded for that.
They probably did. They probably did.
That's
just
all.
in-house.
But once again, football coaches are a little.
No, they got a relationship with each other, so it's like you're gonna make sure your man's straight before this player who you might ship him off anyways. But it's just a stand you got to hold yourself to.
Yeah, football coaches they're a little. They're a little screw. So some of them be ready to. Some of them be ready to swing on their players.
Maybe headbutt helmets and stuff like that.
I've heard. My dad's a football player, so I know.
Some coaches, he's a little different. Some coaches, they just be ready. Especially the strength and conditioning coach. Those are the ones you don't mess with because they.
And you would hope that somebody. I mean, granted, somebody did jump in it, but it should have been sooner than that. Like if you see it, let's handle that in the locker room if anything. But
maybe this happens often between those two, and people are like,
they're probably right. They probably wanted to let it just let it happen. Yeah. Whatever happens, let it play out.
You see what happened with
he's gone anyway. Like I'm telling you, they knew he knew, and the people knew he was getting traded.
Yeah,
that's
so
why
they traded him to the Arizona Cardinals.
That's why he was acting the way he was acting.
It's a good pickup for the Cardinals. Good pickup for the Cardinals. They got DeAndre Hopkins coming back from his suspension.
Did they trade AJ?
Nah, I don't think so.
So they got AJ too?
Yeah.
Damn.
But the Cardinals are one of those teams, they just fall off every year. So good pickup for them. Good for fantasy owners. It's going to be good for fantasy owners. But
I got Kyler.
Me too. he's up and down.
Yeah.
NBA season began last night, and it was. I never usually watch the opening night games. I don't.
It was a really good night.
It was some good games.
Really
Well,
good
the first game was entertaining. The
I
second
want to
game.
talk about this.
Was
Since
the
you
first
talked about
game.
my Celtics not being good.
I never said that.
You said something. You
I was
said
talking about the historic.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, he
they
said-
still nice.
I ain't talking about this year. I'm talking
Okay.
about. Yo, listen. How old are you?
42.
I'm 36. How many years has Celtics been good in our lifetime?
In my lifetime,
How many
really
years?
good or just,
No, really, really good.
Well, in my lifetime, they got
Maybe.
3.
All right, so 3.
They got 3 chips.
No, I mean like in your acting lifetime, not when you were first born and peeing on yourself, because those don't matter, bro. I was born in
You said
85.
peeing
Like they
on
want
myself.
to chip the year.
I really didn't pee on
the year
myself
after
like that. I
I was
actually
born.
was.
I'm talking
went
about
to the
diapers.
bathroom break.
I'm talking about diapers and stuff, bro. It's like, that's early. I'm talking about when we living,
Yeah.
being able to change the channel and watch ourselves. That's. Did they win it then?
Yeah, 86.
You? How old are you again?
I was 6 years old.
Okay,
I remember
I respect that.
watching basketball at 6.
Watching no basketball.
Huh?
He was on somebody's lap.
Nigga, I was in current circle playing ball. You better ask somebody.
I know.
You better ask
He was
somebody.
out there with some people I know.
You was down there playing ball at
Watching
4.
basketball on somebody's lap.
Nah.
But my point is,
Up in the projects, bro.
my
Something
point is
different. You better ask.
the majority of our lifetime, the Celtics ain't really been good the way the people hold the franchise. That's all I was saying. Just like the way people hold. What are they talking
Dog,
about?
how can you say that when they got
All right, yo, I'm
the
30.
most championships?
No, he's saying.
Oh my God,
Within
bro.
What-
since '86.
I understand what he's
That's all I'm
saying.
saying. You got people holding on to stuff that. What team was he talking about? I was comparing them to the Celtics. The historic value of it.
I forgot.
I don't know what the
Golden
Cowboys.
State?
No, might have been the Cowboys.
I think it was the Cowboys.
That's all I was saying, bro.
Yeah, because
Like,
you know the Celtics after '86, it was 22 years before they got their next ring.
That's
But
all
how many
I'm
other
saying.
teams got a chip in between that time?
Probably like 4.
But
So
we're
those
talking
teams
about
that
how the
dominate.
people talk about the teams
Okay.
and hold the teams to the standard.
Right.
Now
Yeah,
saying
people
how,
expect
how
the
Dallas,
86 Celtics all the time.
Nah, but
how
it's not
Dallas
even-
Cowboys fans talk about Dallas still, and they ain't won since when?
Can I tell you something? It's not even just about the Celtics. It's more about Boston. We hold everybody in this city, every team we hold to a high standard. So no matter who you are.
Well, 2 teams they don't.
Come on, stop that. Only this time.
Only the Red Sox. The Red Sox.
We don't hold them to a high
No,
standard.
they're the ones that are. They're the
Only them
ones
in the South, bro.
No.
They're the ones that are holding.
New England, we don't hold them to a high standard.
Bro, they never, the Pats have only been being held to a high standard since they started winning. Cut it out.
When did they
Cut
start
it out,
winning?
bro.
20 years ago.
But
20.
16 years. I was 16 years old,
20.
meaning 6 years before that, they didn't get no real respect. So
Okay.
cut it out, though.
Cut what out? Cut what out?
Rewind it, bro.
You cut what out? What do you
Rewind
want me to
it.
cut out?
Anyways,
You
as I
don't
was-
listen too well.
Oh, I'm listening.
You
But
ain't.
I don't
As
know
I
what
was
you want me
saying,
to
You
cut
ain't
out.
though. I'm trying to tell you that the way this state holds the Celtics at one point, we only got one championship in how many years since 85, 84? Same way the Cowboys are holding on to some shit. That's all I'm saying, bro.
But before that, we got what, 17?
We're not talking
16?
about that. I'm just
I
saying,
am.
like, in our lifetime,
I'm-
I was fortunate enough to see
I'm
everybody
calling
in
it as a
Massachusetts win
whole.
a
It's a
chip.
franchise. It's still the same, basically the same people running the franchise.
Yeah, I know
They just
something.
pass it along.
I get all that, but you're missing my point,
I'm
and that's
not
all
missing
right.
anything, T.
As I was saying, last night's game, Sixers and Celtics. I don't know why they always play the Sixers to open the season because
Oh.
they always beat the
My bad.
Sixers every year.
I hate watching this matchup. I told him they play too much for me, bro.
Who? The Celtics?
Celtics and the Sixers. I can't stay and watch certain matchups. I
It's a
just can't.
rivalry.
No,
It's a
it ain't. And Bees, they get their kicked all the time. Ain't no rivalry.
It's a rivalry.
Nah,
No,
nah.
it ain't. No, it ain't, bro.
It's a rivalry, but the Celtics been
Now
beating
you're
them.
telling me it's not a
The
rivalry.
Celtics been beating them all these.
It's not. The Dr.
Yeah,
J
Sixers-
and Bird stuff is done, bro. Like-
Sixers ain't beat the Celtics in a meaningful game
So who's the Celtics rival?
right now.
right now,
Who would you say their rival is?
It's probably the Bucks.
It's not the Bucks.
The Bucks are
it's
the
the
Heat.
76ers.
It's the Bucks or the
see
Heat.
the Bucks of the Heat, bro.
Yeah, they played. They
I'm
played.
the only
They
one
played
here
more.
with Celtics stuff on.
They
I think
played.
I'm the only one
they
here
played
that likes
more.
the Celtics.
They played more meaningful games against the Bucks and the Heat the last several years than they have against the Sixers. I mean, the last memorable game against the Sixers was when they threw that confetti out after winning one playoff game against the Celtics.
Yeah, but that's not the Celtics' fault. That's Philly's fault.
Yeah, so it's really not. Is it really a rivalry if it's you keep beating the team?
One side is not a rivalry. You got to go back and forth. Meaning the Sixers and the Celtics back in the day, that was a rivalry. Why? Because they went back and forth.
So see, that don't make sense to me. I'm gonna tell you why. So now the Red Sox sucks, but the Yankees are great. So that's not a rivalry no more.
I see his point.
Okay.
I see his point, but bro.
I'm just saying,
Sixers and Philly. I mean, the Sixers and Celtics. No, it's not a rivalry.
It is.
No, it's not.
We don't take them.
All right. Well, y'all don't. To me,
I don't
that's
take,
a rivalry.
Yeah.
They're in the same league.
Then why does the world say the Heat and the Celtics rivalry? Why do they say that? Like, why do they say these things?
I think the Heat and the Celtics.
They
are
said
more,
that when LeBron and them was playing.
But they played
That's
more.
why, because they played each other almost every year consistently.
Yeah,
Do you
and
understand?
even
In the
post
playoffs.
LeBron, even post LeBron, they played the Heat
lost in the bubble,
in 2 Eastern
and then they
Conference
beat 'em.
Finals. I think they played them in another playoff series.
We can say the Heat then. That's fine.
It's the Heat. It's the
We
Heat.
can say the Heat.
But anyways,
I get your Red Sox and Yankees thing, but aren't they in the same division? Like,
So is in Philly. That's what I'm telling you.
But my whole thing is though, they are consistent almost every year.
Who? The Yankees?
The Yankees and the Red Sox.
Yeah, even when the Red Sox aren't good,
they're
they'll
pretty
beat the
consistent,
Yankees.
bro. Like,
I was there. I was actually at the
they'll
game
beat
when
the
they them.
Yankees. But when the Sixers, they're just not. It's just we just going. It's like big brother,
That's
little
to y'all.
brother.
That's
It's like big
to
brother,
me,
little
nah.
brother.
To me, it's a rivalry.
because
To
when you
me,
think about it, you probably think of Bird and Dr.
I'm
J.
not thinking about that.
Then who else you thinking about?
I'm thinking about
AI,
those teams.
AI,
Those
Kenny
two
Anderson?
teams right now.
It's like, Kenny
Those two
Anderson.
teams
No,
right
you
now.
ain't. Like,
Right
and I
now?
love Kenny Anderson.
Those
You
two
don't think
teams
about
right
that?
now.
So
with,
right
with
now-
MVP Embiid and MVP Tatum or Brown. That's a rivalry. They got Harden. You got those superstars playing against each other. That's a
I
rivalry.
just don't like how the Sixers are built.
And they
right
play
now.
each other
Not
4
even
times a
competitive,
season.
bro.
Yeah, I don't like how the Sixers are built.
competitive.
I don't know why they said about this team that's
now
built.
we get into the root of it. Y'all
No.
don't like how the Sixers are
No,
built.
I don't. They got
didn't say
Embiid,
that.
but everybody around him, they just be, you know.
I just said it ain't a rivalry.
And especially if you have
sticking to
Embiid,
it.
if you have Embiid on your team, who got the biggest advantage he's the biggest advantage on the court. It should be more. These games should be more like evenly balanced as far as wins and losses. It should be evenly balanced. But we got Jalen and Jason giving you 35 each. Now we got the biggest signing, Brogdon, coming off the bench, putting 16 up. They look like a team that lost the finals, and they're like, okay, we know what we did wrong in the finals, and we're gonna start off the right way and try to like fix some of those issues that they had in the finals, which is scoring off the bench, passing.
That's a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Who was the top 4 in the playoffs last year?
Last year in
Eastern Conference.
it was Milwaukee, Boston, I believe Miami, probably Philly.
Do you know the order?
What's Philly
I think
the
I think Celtics might have been 1. I think Celtics. No, the Heat was 1. The Heat were 1. Don't tell me Philly was 1.
No, the Heat was 1.
The Heat were 1. Philly was 2. Mm-hmm. The Celtics were 4. The Heat. I don't remember.
See?
Bucks were
I'm
like.
trying to tell you.
What is the point?
The point is they're rivals. That's the point. They both finished in the top 4
Oh man, let's
in the
go
playoffs. They're rivals.
Let's go to the other.
man.
Let's go to the other game from last night. But quickly on that game, I mean, good for the Celtics. Good for that coach, the new coach, the young
Joe
coach.
Mazzola. Good job.
Going for that, getting
You
his
think
first win as
Brogdon
a
come off
coach.
the bench the whole season?
Yes, I think that's
He
great
could,
too.
but trust me, there's going to be games he's going to be starting.
But
Just because these guys.
He solidifies that second unit though.
Yeah, but I don't. Like to his point, I don't think he'll be coming off the bench all season because I think there'll be games he'll be starting. Injury or matchup sometimes.
But if he ain't starting now over White,
Yeah, but you know they're gonna. I think those two are gonna be switched off.
you think?
Yeah, I think they're gonna switch them off, like here and there.
I mean,
I think he's going for 6 men of the year.
They might not keep him there for the whole year, bro. I just don't see.
I think he might be 6 men of the year.
I mean, that dude's a starter personally. Like,
Of course.
And now it's what he does. You can probably put White on the bench, have him be 6 men, or
So why
or
isn't
even
he?
start
That's the question.
off the bench.
So now we're all saying, we all agree that he's better than White, right?
Yeah.
So why isn't he starting?
So why
I'm telling you why. Because he solidifies that second unit.
I mean, it's only
If he's
game
not in
one.
that second unit, they're not going to run the way they do.
It's only game one. I just said, well,
I went to
don't think
2
he's gonna-
preseason
I don't think he's going to
games
be in
up
the
close.
whole season. That's all I
Yeah.
said. It's 82 games. Like, my gosh.
I think he might have like 36 starts.
Well, having
36 starts.
All right, we're
If
going to come back
injuries
to this.
happen-
We're going to come back to this.
You know what I mean? That's
He
all.
might have like
Right.
He might have like
Just
30
Barring
starts.
injuries,
Yeah.
I say he don't get no more than 15 starts.
Yeah.
Barring
That's
injuries.
That's good.
Because now Robert Williams coming back too.
Yeah, he's supposed to come back January or
what I'm trying to tell you.
December. All right, last NBA,
my
the
team.
NBA one, Golden State and the Lakers. Well, we're just gonna talk about the Lakers quickly right now because how poorly constructed team they are. You know, like I said, a LeBron James team has to have shooters. They have to be. He needs to be surrounded by shooters, and the Lakers just don't have no shooters.
I mean-
they had so many bricks. I mean, so many wide open shots that they were just.
They shot
Yeah.
25% from the three. They scored 19 points in the third quarter, bro. There were some players that scored 19 points in the quarter. But the guys they have, I don't really believe in their like the.
I'm gonna keep it a buck.
Yeah,
I fell
work
asleep in
together.
the third quarter after I knew they was gonna go up and win the game. They went up 20. I was like, all right, I'm going to sleep. It's
Yeah.
done.
Like I like Nunn, but since he got COVID, he wasn't really. He hasn't
same,
been the
uh,
same. Like before COVID, he was killing. And after that, I don't know. Maybe he has to get
Yeah,
acclimated.
what, you saying he's the best shooter on that team?
No, I'm just saying new
I would
additions.
think so,
I'm just
though.
talking new additions. But also too, like
I would think so.
LA having 60 points in the paint, the Golden State's 38. Like granted, it's all they could really knock down, but Golden State needs to like tighten up. Granted, it's only game one. but, like,
That's always been Golden
yeah,
State.
they got to tighten up. 60 points is a lot of points.
I don't remember seeing Wiseman though.
He was. I don't know if they do a minutes restriction with him or something, but I saw him and he got in the game.
He did?
Yeah, he was in the game. He
They
did some
said-
good things.
I
They've been
didn't
doing
see-
it with anybody that might have had an injury because Clay was only playing like 20 or something minutes.
Yeah. He
something
did-
like
he did
that.
work, too.
They were
Clay
saying,
went to work.
Yeah, I
restrictions,
think
too.
Wiseman might be on minutes restrictions to start the season. You know,
They got
Because
that luxury though.
They're trying to be really careful with him because if he could play to the potential that he can't.
Then other teams ain't gonna get 60 in the paint.
Yeah. And they're just gonna be more
that's
dangerous.
a crazy stat. T.
60 in the paint, bro.
Yeah, and they'll just be more dangerous to guard because Wiseman's skill set. He's got the skill.
Yeah.
It's just putting it all together, and he figures it out. Whew. Because I like him as a player. I think he's going to be a good NBA player. But he
He's gonna
figures
be
it
really good.
Yeah, if he once he figures everything out and figures the league out and stuff and figures his niche,
He gets
good luck.
stronger too. He's still young. He's still didn't grow into his man
think he's only like 20.
strengthened body.
And don't forget, man, they improved their bench a little bit, man.
Yeah.
So they got 41 points off the bench.
Jermichael Green. Okay, good pickup. Yeah.
That was kind of like the if factor was what was the bench gonna do? Them and the Celtics.
Yeah.
That was their biggest issue.
Yeah.
So I'm glad they figured that out.
Yeah, NBA season is here. Some more games tonight. Celtics, I think, they're going to the Heat, their rival, on Friday, their biggest rival.
She got jokes. Mook got jokes.
quickly before we go to the biggest upset that happened over the weekend, Major League Baseball playoffs is going on. We got the Yankees and the Astros will be playing in Philadelphia and San Diego. Will be going on. I think we're in the AL and NLCS, the championship series. The Yankees finally actually lived up to the hype and made it far because usually they'd have this record and
They destroyed Cleveland last night.
yeah.
It's
And
ugly.
Did you see Cleveland's one of Cleveland's guys rocking the baby
I
on,
seen that.
and they were down.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought they was up.
I thought they
Didn't
were up
they win
too.
one game? Did they win
I
one
think
game?
they won a game.
They won. No,
They won a game or
They
two.
won 2 games.
Yeah.
That was an eliminator last
But-
night.
Oh, okay.
He was doing the rocking the baby, and they were losing.
I mean, this is generations different, bro.
I thought they was winning. When I saw the replay, I thought they was up, and they was still
What, they
down.
strike Judge out at that time?
But I think,
Probably struck
not
Judge
even
out.
sure, but
That's everybody's goal now.
yeah.
They go crazy when they strike Judge out.
Yeah, and then the Padres, they pulled off the biggest upset. Getting rid of
Dodgers.
The Dodgers.
That
When
was-
the Dodgers came in, they were the favorites,
That
I
hurt.
think.
They had my boy Mookie.
Yeah.
Mr.
Yeah.
Betts.
But once again, Houston Astros are in the ALCS and with a chance to go to the World Series.
Again. And hey,
So did the cheating even matter?
right, I don't think so.
I call it getting the edge.
Dusty's
tactical.
that guy
Dusty-
too, though.
Dusty's the
they
man.
got Dusty over there
Oh,
too.
they got Dusty back up?
Lastly, did you guys watch Tennessee, Alabama, or did you guys catch some of the highlights of it? Every time I looked up, that number 11 from Tennessee was just wide open, getting in the end zone. And
they're serious this year, the Vols.
Vols, they've lost to Alabama 15 years in a row.
Yeah, that's why they did that. That's why
we're
they're taking
crazy.
that fine. That's why they said,
what is it, 100,000?
120,000 something like that.
Yo, they carried the goalposts out
And
of the
they
stadium.
threw it in the river.
Because I saw it shaking. I'm like, nah, they
took that thing out the stadium.
I thought they weren't allowed to do that.
I think,
bro.
I think in basketball you're not allowed to storm the court in SEC.
No, I mean the whole
Just taking the
field goal
goalpost?
thing. I didn't think they could do that now. I thought it was like end of the season, SEC championship. Like I didn't think you could steal the goalpost now. Like, they did that. Like season ain't over.
It was bugging, bro.
Like, I don't blame them. When you haven't beaten a team for so long, and plus when you're a program that used to be the top of the conference,
and then
or
they've been
1 and
down
2,
lately.
they've been down since 2004.
Yeah.
But really, the goalpost, like
Hey,
the win was that big. I get it, storming the field, but like, I thought you steal the goalpost for like national championships.
Did you see the refs? Did you see the refs?
Yeah, that was out of there. I don't blame them. It was.
What gets me though is that they swap positions. So now Tennessee's number 3, Alabama's number 6. I think Alabama should have dropped a little
to
bit
number
more.
10, so they can work their way up.
Yes.
And give other teams that deserve a real chance, even though they're not in the high-powered
There you
SEC
go.
Power
There you
5
go,
conference
T.
a chance.
Exactly.
The same exact way. The same exact way, but
Come on, how you giving them 6?
because they're worth.
That's right there.
Because they're worth so much money,
man.
they bring so much in. Big
gotta-
money destroys everything.
Yeah.
Anything with any like real like what's the word I'm looking for, bro? It's like
value is like
value, energy, like the big money just trumps it every time.
Yeah. So big win for Tennessee. They're still undefeated. They got a couple good ones coming up. They got in 2 weeks they have Kentucky, and then they have Georgia at Georgia. So if they're able to pull those 2 wins off, they might be unanimous number 1. Yeah, Kentucky's actually good.
Nice.
They've actually been good in football for the last couple of years.
Couple years.
I remember they was nice when they had that quarterback.
Nah,
the big
yeah,
white
the
dude.
big
Oh, yeah.
They were
He's
high
in
when
the
they
league
had
somewhere
him.
too.
Yeah, he's like in some. Yeah.
That boy was bad.
Yeah, but
So,
now
that's dope. That's dope.
Yeah, the past couple of years they've been
All
good.
right, I didn't even know. That's dope.
Yeah, so Tennessee, they got UT Martin. They got a scrimmage next.
Time out. Hold up. How many games they play already?
Tennessee?
Yeah.
4,
7.
5, 7?
What they
No,
doing?
6.
What they doing playing them? That's like a game you play like your second, third,
These
latest fourth week. in the
SEC
season.
teams always do that.
They do what they want.
They do that every year. Like if you ever look at it,
It's like a cushion.
If there's like a big SEC matchup with like 2 teams ranked in like the top 10, the week after. They play like somebody they're about to just
A money game, money grab.
money grab.
Because one of them's gonna lose, right?
Money grab. But I was listening to a podcast and saying this is big for Tennessee because this program used to be top 1 or 2 in the SEC.
Yeah, remember Peyton Manning?
Yeah, they used to get.
It was nice,
They used to get a whole bunch of players. They said that one of the reasons they've been down is because they lost recruiting in Georgia. They lost recruiting, in-state recruiting. Like the surrounding states that produces a lot of football players that they used to get. They were losing tracks of recruiting.
Who fault is that?
Lane Kiffin. Remember Lane Kiffin coached them, and then
Yeah, so at the end of the day, that's something they gotta figure out. Like,
so that's what this new coach is doing. He's
that's
figuring
dope.
it out. But
It was just not the way he said it. It's like, bro, ain't nothing but your organization, your school's fault, institution's fault.
that too. But when sometimes like that
kills recruiting.
Yeah,
That kills
recruiting. They be
recruiting.
like, they'll just look at what's going on in the program and they be like,
I don't want to go there.
Yeah.
I hear you.
And not even really know that Lane has nothing to do with that place anymore. 0.
But he's still kind of.
That's why I was like,
He just said, I'm out. And it was the way he left too. It was like in the middle of the night and stuff like that. He's like, oh yeah, I'm leaving. I'm going to USC.
I ain't mad at Lane because the NCAA be doing some wild stuff to everybody else, so leave him hanging.
All right, we got high school sports update time. All right, let's go. First up, post-game interviews. English head coach, they played on Friday. They played against Malden, and they won 8-6. One of the craziest games I've ever seen in my life. The game was crazy.
8-6.
8-6.
So they got the 2-point conversion, the other team didn't, or 2 field goals.
They got 2-point conversion. English scored on the opening kickoff. That was the only touchdown. Yeah, shout out to Jonathan.
Coach, this was a defensive battle. You guys really pulled it through. And you had a lot of key stops. When it looked like they had momentum, you guys just came up big. Is this like, I don't know. This was a wild game. I can't even talk myself.
Yeah, it was a crazy game for sure. I'm super proud of our guys. I mean, there were times, I just said to him a minute ago, there were times that it wasn't pretty. It was times that, a few weeks ago when we were a young team and early in the season, we might have got down and made additional mistakes to lose it. But they've grown, they've gotten confident in themselves, and they trust themselves and the assignments that they're on. I got to give a huge shout out to Coach Healy with that game plan. Our defense stepped up, and they deserve a lot of credit.
What did your defense do to just slow them down? They got that one touchdown, but it was off the short field. But besides that, your defense really made it difficult. I mean, like 4 or 5 interceptions delayed from your guys, especially from the younger guys.
Yeah. I mean, we had picks from Shane, we had Jonathan, we had Elijah. I mean, these guys, the DBs, basically, we told them they want to throw the ball. They like to throw the ball. Earlier in the year, we weren't doing great in our pass coverage, and we've worked it. The guys have worked it. They've taken the coaching. We came up with a pretty good game plan. We adjusted sometimes to a cover 2, which we haven't run in a while, and the guys did a great job with it.
All right, Coach, that's back-to-back wins. That's what you feel like you guys are really putting it together now as you guys go into the later part of the season?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, our offense obviously still needs some work. We got to figure some things out there. But, our special teams came along, played great tonight as our only touchdown. Jonathan on the opening kickoff, and then defensively, like we said, just really came through too. So we're building something. It was a great team win. We had so many guys contribute, and that's really what it's all about. You want to have multiple guys contributing, and we had a whole team of them tonight. So that's what it's all about.
Congratulations on the win.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
And we are back. We are back.
This whole time I thought we were recording. I would have been, oh my God.
We are back. All right, next up, we got Catholic Memorial's Detrell Jones. He a little camera shy, but he talked to him a little bit after the game. He had 2 touchdowns against the Prep on Saturday. It was everybody's off of that game, so check this out.
I mean, you had 2 big touchdowns in there. It seems like it came after each time they scored and took a lead, and you guys just made the big plays. I mean, talk about those 2 touchdowns.
It was 2 big touchdowns. After they scored, we knew we had to go get a touchdown right away, so that's why.
This game was so hyped up, and everybody was looking forward to it. How'd you just like how you guys played? It lived up to the hype, and what was it like?
We was watching film like all week on them. Every single day, we just kept watching film and seeing what they were doing.
Is it more sweeter that they were actually the last team that beat y'all? For you guys to get this win against them?
Yeah, this one was a big win for us.
All right, the winning streak continues. You guys got an off week next week. What is just some things that you guys looking forward to for the next week and then as the season?
Keep on working hard and keep on practicing and play together.
All right, man. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
All right. Lastly, Lynn English's Elijah Wallace. He had 2 interceptions in this game, and Jonathan Andres. He had an interception. He had a kick return, and he had some good plays. So we'll talk to them, and then we'll come back.
All right, fellas, Jonathan, you had the only touchdown of this game, man. What did you see on that opening kickoff touchdown that you just, you saw the opening and just went?
Yeah, I saw Julius. I was just walking behind him for a while. The hole just opened up and it was wide open.
All right, defensively too, interception on that too. I mean, talk about the defense. You guys really came up big in the secondary.
Yeah, it was a no-fly zone. No, but our defense has improved since the first week I got here. It's starting to look good, and I love it.
Right, for you had 2 picks on the evening. I mean, first talk about those 2 picks, and then actually just talk about the last couple minutes of the game.
It was my first game back from a concussion, missed 3 games, so I came back out here, had to show them I'm still me, and it's a team sport. So I saw the ball, and I said it was mine.
The offense didn't really do much today. Did you guys talk as a defense like you guys really didn't have to step up?
Defense needed to step up. Offense, we still have to work on it, and we did step up as a team, so we got it done.
How do you both feel just coming back-to-back wins now? You guys won 2 in a row going into another game next week. Just how you guys feeling? You guys are getting these wins now after the slow start of the season.
This happened last year, we won 0-4, and we didn't lose a game after that. So hopefully we could do that this year and keep the momentum.
There, I feel like we're going to win next game, games after that. I feel like it's going to just keep improving.
All right, fellas, congratulations on the win.
Hey, thank you.
All right, and we are back. Okay, let's go to some highlights. First up, we're going to go to Lynn English versus Malden. Check these highlights out. We'll come back.
To say, just lock in, cuz. Yes, sir. Big Dubs, let's go.
I'll say after the show.
All right, and we are back. Okay, next up is St. John's Prep's highlight against Catholic Memorial. This was a good game. Everybody, the mama was there. All right, and we was back. That was a good game for those that missed it.
Very good game.
Very, very good game.
My son was there too. My son, number 12, St. John's Prep. I love you, Steph.
I'll be there Saturday.
You mean he played?
Huh?
He played, right?
You
said my son was there.
Yeah, that's
Nah, man, he was in there playing.
Yeah, he said number 12.
He could be on the bench.
Nah.
I'm just saying, he could have been there on the bench. So he's out there killing. Number 12 out there playing, doing things.
Week 6 of the NFL top 10 plays.
Nah, we ain't humble out here no more.
Check these out.
Look at him.
Putting out fires.
Yeah,
All right, we are back. Oh man, let's get these picks before we get up out of here. Week number 7, Thursday night football, New Orleans at Arizona.
I got a pick
Yeah,
out of those.
yeah,
New Orleans at Arizona?
yeah.
I'm just gonna pick Arizona, man.
I'm going to go with New Orleans.
I'm gonna go with the Cardinals because they got DeAndre Hopkins coming back.
New Orleans sucks.
They
bro.
do.
They are so bad.
Atlanta at Cincinnati.
Cincy.
Cincinnati.
I'm gonna go
Jamar
with
Chase.
the Bengals. I'm gonna go with the Bengals as well. Detroit at Dallas.
I'd say Dallas at home.
I got Detroit, man.
You crazy.
I'm going with the high scoring offense, the Lions.
It's crazy.
I'm gonna go with the Lions too.
Joey, you both are crazy.
Colts.
Y'all just going against me right now.
Colts at Titans.
Yo, hold up, stop. Before we go,
Not that
let's
bad.
put 50 push-ups on that one.
Okay, I do it
I
all the
got
time.
you.
All right,
problem.
we got 50, so we got 50 on
We
this.
got 50 push-ups.
Okay.
Colts at Titans.
Titans.
Yeah, I'm with you, Titans.
Titans.
Yeah, Titans all the way around. Green Bay at Washington.
Washington.
Ooh.
I can care less about what Green Bay does. They got to show me they can win a game.
Commanders, yep. Commanders.
Three-way, right?
I agree.
All three are picking Commanders. I'm picking them too. Tampa at Carolina.
Wow. I'm going to say Tampa. I think Carolina's going through some things right now.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Tampa.
Yeah,
Me too. I'm gonna say Tampa. I don't know who their quarterback is in Carolina. They got a good defense, but their quarterback good. Giants at Jaguars.
Ooh. Jags.
Giants.
I think they're going to put that shit.
I got you. I got
Put that
the
to an end.
Jaguars. I got the Jaguars. Cleveland at Baltimore.
Baltimore. I don't know. Some of these games are like,
Yeah, I'm going with
why?
Baltimore.
Baltimore.
Jets, Broncos,
Jets.
Where?
Oh my
Where
God.
is it?
Denver.
Denver. I'm going with the Broncos.
Did you not
I'm going with the Jets because
I'm going with the Broncos.
Did you see Monday Night Football?
I did.
In overtime?
I did.
Texans, Raiders.
I did.
Oh, Raiders. You know I'm a Raider guy.
Yeah, I'm going with the Raiders.
Raiders.
All right. Seahawks, Chargers.
Chargers. At home?
It's in LA.
Yep, Chargers.
I'm with you.
Yeah, I'm going to go with them.
Chargers. Kansas City at San Fran.
I got Kansas City.
I got the 49ers.
I got the 49ers.
I got the
No,
49ers.
yeah, I do.
I got the 49ers.
Pittsburgh, Miami.
Miami.
Dolphins.
Tua's back. Go with the Dolphins. And then Bears, Patriots.
Pats.
We don't
no
go against the
question.
Pats.
Yeah, no question.
All right. We made it to an end.
Good show.
Thank you, Stevie,
Thank you for
once
having me,
again for
guys.
coming back on.
These are my guys. Don't
Despite the argument.
That wasn't an argument. That's a debate.
I'm joking.
This is years right
We know
I'm
each other.
joking. I'm
We
just
family
joking.
basically. So
Yeah,
trust
I'm
me.
joking.
It's nothing.
I'll be at St. John's Prep on Saturday for their homecoming. There's a lot going on there. There'll be an
I'll be
Under
there.
Armour presentation for All-American presentation for Jonelle. There's got a lot going on. Tex football game Friday is canceled. Has been forfeited. I don't know which team forfeited who, but something about players, not enough players or something like that. It's a forfeit. Yeah, I just saw that. English is at Manning.
How's the Tigers doing this year?
Yeah, they lost the other day. We'll talk off there. English is at Manning. Classical is at Revere. St. Mary's is on the road. I think Kip is at home. So playoffs is coming soon. Follow us After the Whistle Instagram. Mr. Burn23 on Instagram. Mukala K on Instagram. We forgot to talk about boxing, but we'll do that next week for my man Pedro.
We're going to have a whole segment about it.
Yeah.
Listen, call me. Call me. Can you call me, Pedro?
Yeah, we got you, man.
For real, call me. No, call me. I'll call in.
Been
and
telling y'all
boxing.
about Haney, man.
Boxing. Call me.
Next week, Lomachenko.
Yeah.
Okay.
Haney will be there front row.
I hope so.
He'll be there. He's going to watch. After the fight, Haney's going to come in the ring and challenge him.
Shout out to Clarissa Shields.
Yep.
Yeah, shout
Mr.
out.
Shields, we're going to talk about all that next week.
Next week.
Got you.
R.I.P.
We ain't forget people. We just ran out of time.